I first came across the Sandflex blocks while doing a story on cleaning up the cast iron table saws. After seeing how well they cleaned up my woodworking equipment, I knew we had to try them on the metalworking stuff as well, and they worked just as good if not better. Sandflex blocks are really just blocks of rubber that have abrasive mixed in throughout the block. As the surface abrasive wears away, it reveals new abrasive below it. I suspect that this is one of those simple ideas that isn't so simple when you're trying to actually manufacture them. Things like the waves on our lathes or other machines can get corroded and a little bit rusty, and with the money we pay for these things, it's worth a few bucks to keep them cleaned up. And if left unchecked, corrosion and other contamination can affect how the machine performs. The Sandflex blocks are available in fine, medium, and coarse grits, but I usually use the medium to start out on a machine and then the fine to clean it up the rest of the way. Here I'm using the medium grit block to begin cleaning up the waves on this little lathe. It doesn't take long at all to clean up a machine. You can see here how quickly a sheen develops on the metal, and this is still with the medium block. Flipping the block over once in a while you're using it helps prevent buildup or something, but it makes it work more consistently. And now I'll change to the fine block and just scrub these waves down a little bit. If the metal's not badly corroded or stained, I'll use the fine block just to clean it up a little bit. It took me less than 10 minutes to clean up the waves on this lathe, and that's well worth the effort when you consider what I paid for it. I'm always using things I probably shouldn't be for welding, but I can get rid of that evidence real quick with the fine grit block. If you're one of those guys that uses screwdrivers for just about everything but driving screws, you'll appreciate how fast you can clean them up with these blocks. Cast iron drill press tables are another favorite target of sweat and other corrosive materials. You can see here that my table isn't corroded or rusted very bad, but it could stand a cleaning up. I'm going to do this one end plate section. We'll just scrub it down with the medium grit block to start with. Once you start rubbing a metal surface like this with these Sandflex blocks, you're just liable to be amazed at how much grit and contamination there actually is on that metal. Just like the waves on that lathe, this metal's already starting to show a little bit of shine. And now I'll change over to the fine grit block and just polish this up a little bit. I probably could have started with the fine grit block on this job, but using the medium grit to start with just speeds the process up. It only took a couple of minutes to do this wing on my drill press table, but you can see a big difference between it and the rest of the table in color and the shine on it. Drill presses aren't cheap either, so it's nice to be able to take care of them and make them work and look good. If the surface of a putty knife gets roughed up even a little bit, it doesn't work as well. It only takes seconds to clean that surface up with one of these Sandflex blocks. The Sandflex blocks cost about $4.50 a piece, but that's real short money considering everything they do and how long they last. I've been shining up stuff all over my shop with these two and they still don't show any wear at all. The only problem is that now my machines look way cooler than yours.